He made 118 off 55 balls, 6 fours and 8 sixes. Mackay was a batting track. Australia 2 for 431. Crash, I was calling the footy yesterday afternoon and I didn't check a score until afterwards, and I saw 2 for 413 and I thought, thank God Marnus has made some runs. I was thinking, how big did he go? And then he had the did not bat.
It was incredible. He's never craved runs, Gerard, like he has at the moment. And as Cam Green just said, that the plan was for Marnus to bat at number 3, but when they reached a double century with the opening stand of Marsh and Head, they thought, no, we're going high voltage here. And of course, Green worked. He's a fabulous shot maker, and I think that innings will do him a lot of good. Look, South Africa rested two of their best fast bowlers, including Ngidi, and I know someone who went out with the South African team the night before the game, and they had won the series. It was a dead match, and all they were talking about was this morning's plane flights. Like, they had to get up at 6 o'clock. They were leaving Mackay, and they're heading to England for a one-day series. Some are going via Brisbane, and that was. And my mate thought to myself, do you know what? They've actually moved on. They're on the flight out of the country. So there was that, but it was a bit of a morale restoring innings for Australia after two very, very modest batting performances in the first two games.
So we don't need to obsess over Australia's batting lineup in one-day internationals yet, because the World Cup is still a couple of years away, but those first two were a bit troubling.
Oh, they were terrible. And look, Marnus Labuschagne, 2 single-figure scores, and his equation hasn't really changed, Gerard. I'll give him a slight rap for yesterday, because after the numbing disappointment of missing out on the gift horse, he then pulled off 2 exceptional catches in the field, one lunging forward, one lunging back. And his equation hasn't changed. I'll say it again. If he scores a couple of 50s in the early Sheffield Shield rounds, he will play the first test in Perth. If his score sheet goes 12, 20, 16, 5, 22, he will not play. He needs runs. Khawaja can produce those scores and he will play. Labuschagne can't. He must do something. But, yeah, he would be disappointed, because behind the scenes he's getting little raps from the Australian selectors for following advice in training. Like, they think they can rehabilitate him and renovate his game. He's getting his head more towards the ball in training. But, yeah, it's no progress in this series, none at all.
On the whiteboard that's got the 11 that we're keeping next to our bed at the moment and just changing on a whim after a fitful night's sleep, is Marnus's name can't be on the whiteboard anymore. He's going to have to win his way back onto the whiteboard from here. The 1 and the 1 were terrible. So he sort of goes from a leap of faith to, now you have to prove it for me. He's not on my whiteboard anymore. I thought that's where we were going to start, but he's going to have to make some runs.
Well, I'll say this too, Gerard. I actually agree with you, but I think there's a space in the whiteboard. I don't think you can say, Jake Weatherall's in the team now. I think there's a list of about 5 players outside the team, and I've still got Labuschagne number 1 in that. But you're right, not on the whiteboard. He's not in there now. And, you know, it's a little rap to Maharaj, Kipshal Maharaj, for a beautiful display of left-arm spin bowling, Gerard. How rare is it for a spinner to take 5 wickets and require no assistance from any fieldsman?
Yes.
But before the first game, he went behind the scenes and he thought, give me the new ball and I'll bowl top spin and I'll really try and just dip it and I'll catch them on. He got 3, all 5 LBW bowled. Really clever. And so I would love to see Australia's coaching staff clip that up and hand it to Cooper Connolly, Australia's left-arm spinner, who I know got 5 wickets yesterday, but 4 of them were caught in the deep. So, it was really good bowling, really clever bowling.
So before we leave Cam Green, I was just thinking back over. So he resumed batting in May, didn't he? 2 county centuries. He's now added an ODI century. He made 4 half centuries in the West Indies across a test match in the T20s and 2 other scores in the 40s in that pink ball test where the scoring was incredibly low. So he is building promisingly, Crash, given that it's only been, 4 months back in cricket.
It is, yeah. Since his back surgery. And Do you know what? He always, guys connected with the team always said that because of his slightly reticent, bashful personality, he may take time to grow. And one common thread about top all-rounders, Gerard, they invariably start slowly. Richie Benaud started slowly in his career. They took him on a lot of tours before he really blossomed. Andrew Simons, for all the swagger, he started slowly at every level of the game. He really did. So all-rounders can do that, but this kid's blossoming now, and, is he a future Australian captain? He's got to be in the conversation because he's in a generation all by himself in the mid-20s. So you can tell yesterday that his confidence has gone up a level. Like, they sent him out there with a mission to destroy, and he destroyed. So so much rests upon Cameron Green, because I'm telling you this, when we tour Australia, tour England in a couple of years, he will be a really senior figure in that batting lineup. He's not the boy to watch. He will be the man of the moment. He will be asked to really shepherd and shoulder that team. So he's building in that direction, but there are no certainties in cricket.
And cricket and the right climate at this time of year, Darwin, Cairns, Mackay, are we declaring it a success?
Fabulous. And this is the verdict of the South African team. They were saying behind the scenes, in really genuine praise, they said, how good are the facilities up there? And this was a reciprocal tour. I mean, they owed Australia one and they came here, but all three venues they really enjoyed playing at. The crowd response was wonderful. And as I said previously, Greg Chappell's been campaigning for decades for Australia to play more cricket up north in the winter. And I think this has done a really good shot in the arm. There's a couple of tests for the far north next season against Bangladesh, and that's great. Really good idea. Should be more of it.
Thoughts coming through. Cameron Green looks a completely different player when he's playing white ball cricket. He's not jittery and looks confident, calm and decisive when playing his shots. Obviously, the pitches are different, but if he can bring that to his red ball game, he can have a huge impact this summer. And anyone saying they'd have Marnus in their Aussie lineup has rocks in their heads. Don't bury your head in the sand and think he will come good. A consistently tentative batter who has completely lost his way. So the judgments are sharp on a Monday. That's fairly typical. Crash, Mike Atherton's put together his all-time test list, has he?
He has, and of players who he feels dominated in his era. He said he's played or watched or covered 402 tests. The striking omission for me, he put two Australians in, and they were Adam Gilchrist and Shane Warne, no problems there. But how could he leave out Glenn McGrath? I mean, McGrath, what did he get Athers out in tests about 19 times? Like, got him out for fun. Like, he had to be on that list, Gerard. But no problem with Malcolm Marshall, first choice, the man who I believe, if you put everyone's opinion into a computer and every piece of statistical information that mattered, I reckon Malcolm Marshall would be the name spat out as the best fast bowler who ever played the game. No problems there. His second choice was Jimmy Anderson, who's, the most durable of fast bowlers and the most remarkable, but he wasn't Glenn McGrath. I'm sorry. I can't have that. And the third choice was Alan Donald, who, had some gladiatorial contests with Mike Atherton. And it was interesting, Gerard, when Alan Donald and Glenn McGrath used to match each other for milestones, and they'd look in the paper to see, oh, yeah, he's got to 300. Oh, gee, I'm only 294. Oh, he's I'll beat him to 350. They had this secret duel. So he was superb, I got to say, Donald. But, yeah, but the fact that McGrath wasn't there, I felt, come on, Athers, give a bit, will you?
Have you got the team in front of you?
I haven't got my team in front of me, but the other one that struck me was Virender Sehwag opening the batting. I really like that, Gerard. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the game's history. Like, he trucked along at a strike rate of about 80 and was really a player's player. And almost inevitably, if you were a stodgy player or a really defensive player like Atherton, you absolutely loved the Indian opener Seawag and he had a bit of swagger about him too. Like he'd go up to David Warner when he was hitting out and said, "You enjoying this show? It must be great to watch, is it?" Like only Seawag could say that.